Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in this video we will discuss about how you can take backups of files and file groups inside SQL Server. So before we proceed ahead, I would request you guys to please go ahead and hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell icon and select all notifications to get updates regarding all my future videos. Now let's go back to the topic, which is how you can backup the files and file groups in SQL Server. So let's move on to my notes. The file and file group backups can be taken by using SQL Server Management Studio. You can use Transact SQL as well, and as well as the PowerShell. And why do we take file and file group backups? So when the database size and performance requirements make a full database backup impractical. So when the database size is like huge and there are certain performance requirement where the full database backup approach is impractical, we can create a file backup instead. And a file backup contains all the data in one or more files or file groups. So this has some limitations. So let's talk about them. One limitation is that backup statement is not allowed inside the explicit on this transaction. And another limitation is under the simple recovery model, read-write files must be all backup together. So if we are using simple recovery model for our database, read-write files must all be backed up together. So we should take backup of all the files. This helps make sure that database can be restored to the consistent point in time. So if we take a look at SQL Server database, if we talk about TestDB to see what recovery model it is using. So if we go to like options, it is using a full recovery model, not a simple one. So there we were talking about the simple recovery model where all file needs to be backed up together. So instead of specifying each read-write file or file group, we can use the read-write file groups option that backs up all the read-write file groups in a database. And the backup that is created by specifying the read-write file groups is known as a partial backup. And let's see a demo on this. So for that we need to go to the SQL Server Management Studio. So we need to right click on the databases. Here we are using TestDB as a sample database. Going to tasks and selecting the option backup. This opens up our dialog box and in the database list we need to verify the database name. So it's taking database for the TestDB. Optionally we can select a different database from here, and in the backup type list we can either select full or differential, and there's a backup component section where we can select instead of database we can take a backup of the files and file groups. So for that we need to select this second option. If we select that second option, it pops up a dialog box which is a select files and file groups box appears, and we need to select the files which we want to backup. So it is showing that a TestDB has a primary file group under which we have a TestDB file. You can select one or more individual files or check the checkbox for a file group to automatically select all the files under it. So for example, if I select primary file group, it will select all the files underneath it. So the selection is done. After selecting the files, you can click on OK, and so now it's telling us the backup set name, which is it's taking a TestDB backup file at the default location. We can change the name as well. So here we can change the location as well as the name of the we can change the path as well. We can change the name of the backup file. So nothing else, and so here we are talking about the backup options. So this is the name of the backup set, which is testdb full database backup. We can change name for this backup set as well if as per our liking. We can give description for this backup files, and we can also specify the expiry option if we want these backup files to be deleted after a certain number of days. We can specify it over here. So we can specify the after option. We can give values like let backup expire after 5 days. So after 5 days this backup file will automatically get deleted. There's another option on which we can specify where we can specify a particular date at which the database backup can expire and get automatically deleted from the system. Value for after can range from 0 to 99,099 days. If it's set to 0, it means the backup will never expire. So the default value which is now coming as 0 is specified in the properties, server properties. If we take a look, there is an option default backup media retention period in days, which is currently set to 0. That's why it's coming as 0. We can check on that later. Otherwise, if we want backup set to expire on certain date, we can specify the second option. And backup destination can be specified on the general page to either disk or URL as per our liking. Tape can be another option, but here we don't have a tape device installed on my machine, so can't take backup to the tapes. And we can remove this destination by clicking on the remove button, and we can also view the content of the destination using the contents button. And under the media option, there is an option to override all the existing backup sets. So first option is here is backup to an existing media set. So it will use the existing media set which is this. It will back up to the same media set. So under this option, there is an option that if you want to append this backup to an existing set, so here we are doing that. Or do we want existing backup file to be overwritten, or we want to overwrite all existing backup sets? And the next option is check media set name and backup set expiration. If we select this option, basically we chose this option to cause the backup operation to verify the date and time at which the media set and backup set expire. But this item is optional. And another option, so when we just selecting this option cause the backup operation to verify the date and time at which the media set and backup set expire, it will make a check. Another option is to provide a media set name text box. If no name is specified, media set with the blank name is created. If you specify a certain media set name, um, um, so if a tape and disk is used, we need to, so if we specify a media set name here, the media is checked to see whether the actual name matches the name that you enter here. If you set the media name blank, if we leave it blank and check the checkbox to check against, so if we leave it like this, success will equal the media name on the media also being blank. Alright, so here we are not specifying the name of the media set. Another option is, so first option was to back up to an existing media set, or otherwise we can specify a new media set to be created. We can give the name of the media set and give its description, and yeah, a new backup set can be created. So right now if we take a look at the content, this is the backup set. Name is blank for the backup set. So sets can be named. So under this backup set, 2 database backups were taken. So yeah, this is the pending operation. Overwrite can also be done on that. We can create altogether new media sets can be created. So there is a reliability section as well where you can verify the backup when finish, whether the backup file is fine, and you can perform checksum before writing to media. So in order to be sure the media is fine, and it calculates the checksum before writing the data to the media, and whether it should continue on any error or it should stop the backup, we can check this option. So if we are backing up to a tape drive, which is not a case in this scenario, destination can be selected as a tape as well if tape device is installed. So if tape device is active, you will see a tape option over here, and under the backup option, under the media option, the option under the tape drive will get highlighted if tape drive is installed. So it has options like unload the tape after backup. This option can be used. So if we click this option, this enables the rewind the tape before the unloading operation. And this is the another option where the tape is rewinded before unloading, and unloading the tape after backup. And right now we see that there are certain options under the transaction logs which are inactive. So we are not taking the transaction log backup. So if we are backing up, if we're doing a transaction log backup, these options will get highlighted, and we will talk about them later. So if we talk about SQL Server version, so any SQL Server versions after version 2008 supports the backup compression as well. And by default, whether a backup is compressed depends upon the backup compression default server configuration option, so which will be found under server properties. We will take a look at it later. However, regardless of the server level default, we can compress our database by checking the compress database option. So under backup option, there is an option to use a server default setting, or if we want to explicitly compress the backups, we can compress the backups through here. And another option is to do not compress the backups. So we are using server default settings. So it takes the server properties settings regarding the compression. And let's go into the practical. So we have discussed the options. We can take another backup. So let's go ahead and take a full backup. So we are appending to an existing media set, and already there are two backups under that media set. I'm taking another backup. So let's see. So backup is done. Let's see. This is the folder where it takes the backup. Uh, so right now it has taken the backup. It has overwritten an existing file. But yeah, if we take a backup, if we go to the backups section, we have a 3 backups in that backup set. If we check the contents, we have 3 backups, and here it has taken the name. Um, so it is giving us the start time. So this one is the recent one. So name, it has taken testdb full database backup. It has taken the backup set name. So alright. The earlier backups were created from outside, so that's why those backups are showing under the blank media set name. So this is the default name uh, for that backup set. So this is the first one. Another backup set names are blank, and the reason it has taken the file name is the backup set name is we have done a file backup, not the database backup, where we have chosen files and file groups. We have taken a backup of the file test db files. Alright, the other backups are the database backups, and there's a type difference. You see, this one we have taken a file backup, and name of this backup set is different. We specified the files using this option here. We had selected testdb. So I've just shown you how you can take the backup of the files under certain file groups, or we can take backup of file groups, etc. So let's see how many file groups are there for this testdb database. So if we go into files, we have 2 files over here. So we have mdf, which is a primary data file, and the ldf, which is a log data file, and we have a single primary file group, right? And both the files are, so not both the files are under the same file group. So log is different, it is not coming under any file group, and the primary data file is under the primary file group. Similarly, additional files can be added here under primary file group. So here we only have one mdf file. So let me show you how you can take the let me show you some example how you can create a differential backup file for only. Okay, let me show you how you can use transact SQL to make a copy of this we will take a backup of this file testdb-mdf. So if you like, you can write code alongside with me. So you need to type backup database, which is testdb. Alright, and for file backup you need to specify the file name. So here the file name is testdb.mdf, so we are just typing testdb, and we are taking the backup to disk. So this time I'm taking a backup to different location. So under C drive we had created that backups folder, SQL backups folder. Let me delete these backups, and let's create a fresh backup here. So need to specify the location, so let me copy the path from here. I want to back it up here, and let me copy the path once again, sorry. So copy the path, putting the path here. So we want to copy it to disk at C drive SQL backups location, and we want to give the file name. Let's name it as testdb back. Okay, let's take this file. Try to run this command and see what happens. So syntax is somewhat incorrect. I think so. Seems like everything is correct. Let's see. Change the. Still showing incorrect syntax. So maybe the file name has to be given properly. Now it's still showing incorrect syntax for that. So file name specified is correct over here. Let me re-verify. File name is correct. testdb is the file name. Let's take double quotes and then see if it works. Sure. Still showing incorrect syntax. So yeah, up till this point it's fine, but yeah, here it is not taking to disk. Alright, I got it to where it is incorrect. So single quotes need to be used, and equal to sign should be there to this equals. So now executed, it will create the database backup, and if we check, it has created the backup of that particular file. The file is testdb mdf. It has created the database backup. Let's remove this backup and let's try to recreate it. What if we specify the full name of that mdf file? So yeah, mdf, the extension is not supposed to be specified, so just need to specify the name of the file. So yeah, it has again taken up the backup. We can take the backup of full file group, which includes all the file under files group. So for now we have only one file under that primary file group, which is this mdf file. So there may be other files under this particular file group, but yeah, our system or database is using a single file under this file group. Let me show you how you can directly take backup for a file group. So you can do this via this command backup database. You need to specify the name of the database, which is testdb. Then instead of file, you need to specify file group, and you need to specify the name. So primary is the file group for us, and we want to take this backup, and we need to specify the location. So specify this. So let me take primary dot back to indicate that this is the backup for primary file group. Let's execute this command. So yeah, the backup is done. Primary back is created, which is the backup of that primary file group. So far we have taken a full backup of that file and the primary file group. We can take differential backups as well for file groups, and for differential you just need to use these commands, and with this you need to specify the option with differential to create a differential backup. Differential spelling should be correct. Differential, not correct. Let's execute this statement. So it will create a differential backup. So two backups are created. We can go to task and the backup, and so we check the contents. So here it is showing up two backups. One was full and another was differential. These are file-based backups showing up here. Alright, we are fine, and we have just shown you how you can take backups for the files and the file groups using the full backups and with differential. And you can also use PowerShell command to take backup for file groups. So let me show you how you can do that. So in order to do that, just open up the PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, right click on it, this one, not the x86 one, but yeah, this one. Run it as administrator. So once the PowerShell gets opened up, okay, and you need to specify the commandlet, which is backup SQL database is the commandlet for taking database backup. So you need to specify the server instance switch and need to specify the computer name, which we can take from here under the properties. We can copy this computer name. So computer name is there. Let's go to there. So if we don't specify any instance, it defaults to the default instance. And then next we need to specify the database switch, which database we want to do backup for. So in our case it's testdb. So this time backup action is not database, we are taking it as files, which indicates we are taking file or file group backups. And if we want to take a backup of a file group, then we need to specify database file group option. So once we specify this option, we need to specify the name of the file group. In our case, we want to take a backup of that primary file group. So I think that's it, and press enter after that. So it has taken the backup of primary file group, and we haven't specified the location, so it must have taken primary backup in the this location. The file it has created is testdb.back at 5 p.m. So yeah, this is the one which is the backup of the primary database, primary file group. So alright, we have shown you how you can take backups for file groups using the Windows PowerShell, and we hope you like this video. If yes, then hit on the like button, and guys, please do subscribe to my channel. We are expecting to create more videos, so you will get alerts on that once you subscribe to my channel and hit on the bell icon to get all the updates. So I thank you once again for your time, and you have a wonderful day ahead.